Hello, this is Myra Elaine on the Buying Space channel. Today I continue my series on Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the four Gospels, which cover the life of Jesus Christ and the words of Jesus Christ. Now, does that mean that the rest of the New Testament is not about Jesus Christ? No. The rest of the New Testament is about Jesus Christ and the formation of the church and the arrival of the Holy Spirit after Jesus' ascension. And the Old Testament is about Jesus Christ. The coming of the Messiah, and every book in the Old Testament points to Jesus or has Jesus in it. I just got done reading Exodus 23, verses 20 to 23, where Jesus appears as a messenger or an angel to protect the Jewish people. So here I am. I'm in Luke chapter 12, starting in verse 13, the parable of the rich fool. Then someone called from the crowd, "Teacher, please tell my brother to divide our father's estate with me." Jesus replied, "Friend, who made me a judge over you to decide such as that?" He said. "Beware, guard against every kind of greed. Life is not measured by how much you own." Then he told them a story. Excuse me, I'm in need of water. I'm a little parched. A rich man had a fertile farm that produced fine crops. He said to himself, "What should I do? I don't have room for all my crops." Then he said, "I know, I'll tear down my barns and build bigger ones. Then I'll have room enough to store all my wheat and other goods. And I'll sit back and say to myself, 'My friend, you have enough stored away for years to come. Now take it easy, eat, drink, and be merry.' But God said to him, 'You fool, you will die this very night. Then who will get everything you work for?' Yes, a person is a fool to store up earthly wealth, but not have a rich relationship with God." I think I'll stop there because we have this very situation on our planet. We have people, the top 2% of the earth, that are billionaires. And we have a diminishing middle class. And instead of the rich raising wages, they pay dividends to the nearly disgustingly wealthy through stocks and bonds in their companies, and let their workers, the backbone of their company, suffer in an inflationary situation instead of distributing the wealth more. This is called severe greed. These people buy yachts where they have holds in them to put their speedboats or their smaller yacht. They have homes that are prestigious to own with a cleaning staff and a budget that's well maintained that they never ever live in. They might go there 1 year to have a party, and that's it. That's all they have their home for. And there are people homeless on the street around those estates. They buy small islands. When people are starving, and they support laws that allow people to be prosecuted that help the poor, that is soulless greed. And a lot of these people will turn around and then give um, donations to charities to make themselves look good, while on the other hand, they were doing things that harm the poor, that make them have this need. They don't pay the middle class uh, head of household enough to feed their own kids. So here they are having to work full time, yet go to the food bank, while the rich person occasionally kicks money to the food bank. Why not pay your workers a living wage? Why not pay your stockholders and yourself a little less? You don't need to make that extra $100,000 bonus during the holidays. I mean, I'm just saying that I don't understand how these people are not concerned about their souls at all. Because, well, another thing is, like Jesus said, what if you die? Who's going to benefit from all that work and all that extra effort that they're making to be that greedy? It's just you're going to have a bunch of feuding relatives. And you might have people, well, trying to get rid of you because you're not generous even with those around you because you're so greedy. Greed is not a wonderful way to live. It doesn't lead to healthy relationships with people around you. I don't have a lot of money, but I have a lot of things. So I try to be generous with giving away my things at times, but I don't want to be surrounded by people that are going to take advantage of me. So it's a cakewalk for sure. I give to local food banks and I give to the Vietnam veterans, and I'm generous to my family, during the birthdays and holidays. But, they're surrounded with other people. Um, and I have to be careful about who I'm generous to and who I'm not in those other people, because they might try to turn my family against me, kind of thing. It's not anymore how you conduct your own personal business is can be very tricky in the world we live in, where people are more concerned about what you have than who you are, and what is in your heart, and those sorts of things. So I don't know that I would ever want to be rich, because um, I have a good heart, and I think people would try to take advantage of me, and I think that would happen sometimes. I think that happens sometimes now, that I'm just got a low budget with a middle class lifestyle right now, and I've had people try to take advantage of me, but some have succeeded somewhat, and some have not, and we're cut off at the root, as they say. But it is very tricky on knowing how to distribute that wealth. But if you own one of the corporations, you're a CEO of one of the corporations, the 5 corporations that control the planet, what you can do is raise the salaries of your employees worldwide. Stop creating situations where you're bringing in artificial intelligence and robotics to replace workers, and employ more people and give those people benefits. And that's how you distribute wealth. People are still earning what they have, their health benefits for their children. So they're earning, what they have. It's not like, it's just like, don't starve a man and then turn around and give him charity. Don't starve a man for what he's earning, for what he's doing, for what he is, and then turn around and make him grovel for food bank food or for food stamps. when he's working full time to support his family. And, I'm not saying this just, for the men. Women are working full time too to support their families. And sometimes couples are working full time and have additional jobs to support their families because they have to do that to have just a normal life, to have a home, cars, insurance, all of that. So why not just increase his salaries and have your employees make a living, and you'll attract better, more productive employees by doing that. I mean, this seems like common sense to me. Why store up what you have to the point where you're never, ever going to be able to use it all? And there are people out here that could use it and benefit from it and make our world a better place. I don't understand. This is vanity. Having a yacht with a docking space inside of it for your speedboat or for your smaller yacht, that's a little excessive. And you probably don't even get it out to play with it. Just saying, it's just a bragging right that, oh, I've got a speedboat in my yacht. You know what? That president of that CEO of that smaller company that's on the last of the rung of all your corporations, he's suffering. He doesn't have a yacht. He doesn't have a speedboat. He has children to take care of, to ensure. He maybe even has a sick child that needs a surgery. But you're off on your yacht and letting all your employees take care of everything at the lowest wage you could possibly pay them. I don't understand. I don't think any uber billionaire is going to hear this, but that's my opinion. And it's one of the things that, how people say, well, you're what's wrong with the world. And I don't like to point fingers, but if you're one of the people that owns or controls one of the 5 major conglomerates that control the world, you need to think about how you're doing things. You need to think about your soul, and you need to think about what is going to happen to our planet and our resources. Why have it stored up when people need food, they need housing, and you have a way for them to earn it? I don't understand. But for all the rest of you that are listening to this are going like, yes, Myra, that's it. I appreciate you being here and listening. I know that there's not a lot that any of us can do about greed except for pray. The people get what they need, and the people that have it will be generous enough to let us survive. And that's how the world has always been. And the only thing we can do is pray and believe in God and do our best every day to be good. And God will bless us, even though there's greed in the world, even though there's evil in the world. Won't be a cakewalk, but God will bless us. Have a wonderful and blessed day.